Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Curvi Yogi. I am Jakita, and today we are going to do a short yoga for hips session. So I know that a lot of times when we think about hips, we think about lunges, and yes, we're going to do some lunges, but we're also going to work on hip stability in this practice as well. So what you will need is your yoga mat, yourself, and I'm going to have a blanket for cushion, and that's just for the knee. So if you want to grab those things, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start seated, and I'm just going to move my blanket off to the side. You can just have it somewhere where you can grab it when we need it. We'll start in bound angle pose. So just start by planting your hips into the mat. And I just like to do that by rocking side to side, just to make sure that I am sitting flat. We're gonna bring the bottoms of our feet together. Knees are gonna go out to the side, and let your feet come open like a little book. So the bottom of your feet is facing towards the ceiling. You can have your hands resting either on the mat or at your ankles. Sit tall in the spine. And we're gonna start here with 3 deep breaths. So we're starting in our hip opener, just a gentle hip opener right now. And don't worry about if the knees are a little bit above the mat, that's okay. We're just gonna let gravity, let them come down as they wish. So sitting tall in the spine, we're gonna inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. So let's inhale together. Open the mouth and exhale. Again, inhale. Open the mouth and exhale. One last time, inhale. And exhale. And then release your hands either from the mat or from your ankles. And we are going to come over to table pose. So bringing the knees up together, we're going to come onto hands and knees. And here you can grab your blanket, and we're going to place it right under our knees. It doesn't have to be a thick blanket. This is just for a little bit of cushion. So knees are on the blanket, hands are on the mat. Just being mindful of the shoulders being over the wrists and the hips over the knees. And the legs coming straight out from the knee. So let's walk our hands over towards the left side of the mat. Step your right foot forward, right beside your right hand. And then walk your hands forward just a little bit. Maybe walk your foot forward. Sink the hips down. Coming into a little bit of a low lunge here. Take a breath in and out. Start to feel the stretch in the hip flexors and the quad. And maybe a little bit in the inner thigh on the right leg, maybe. And then start to lift your chest as you bring your hands to your right knee. Sink forward, reach the arms up, coming into just a little back bend here. A little more intense stretch in the quad. Inhale, coming to stand on that left knee, straightening the body here. And you can walk your right foot in a little if you need to. Bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna tuck the left toes under behind us. And then we're gonna step up to our high lunge. Take your time, and you may have to adjust here. So thinking about that right knee being over the right ankle, and coming up to the ball of the left foot into our high lunge. Inhale and exhale. So we're gonna hop this left foot forward a little bit, stand straight on the right leg. We're gonna come into a little balance here. So kind of root the right foot down into the mat, and then start to lift the left knee up in front of you. And if balance is a challenge, just try again. So if you find that your left foot is coming down to the mat, just stabilize the right leg and then lift the left knee again. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to step this left foot back behind your blanket, bending that right knee, coming back to our high lunge. And just as we did on the mat, feeling that stretch in that left quad. And then we're going to come down to the mat or down to your blanket. I think I'm a little bit off of my blanket. That's okay. You can walk it back a little bit. Sink the hips forward, coming back to our low lunge, reaching the arms up and back for a little back bend here. Inhale. Exhale. And standing back up on that knee. Bring the arms down to your hips. Bring your right knee down to meet the left. So we're standing on our knees right here. And we're just going to come into a little bit of a back bend. But it's also going to help our hip flexors right here. So start with your hands over your heart. So one hand on top of the other. Keeping the bottom half of your body stable. We're going to inhale as we lift up from the hips. And then exhale as you reach your shoulders back. Coming into a little bit of a camel pose here. And as we are bending our back, we're feeling the stretch in our quads, which is also stretching our hip flexors here. Inhale, standing back up. Exhale, release the hands. Go ahead and come down. And we're going to come to sit. And you can put your blanket off to the side just for now. And we're going to come into a double pigeon. So we're going to start with my left leg. This is going to be your right. So bring your right knee straight out from your hip. And then bring your right heel straight out from the knee. So your leg is kind of forming a right angle. And then we're going to stack the left leg right on top of that. So the left heel is on top of the right knee. Left knee is on top of the right foot. And you may find a little bit of space between the knee and the foot, and that's okay. And if you wanted something to fill that space, you can always put your blanket there, just to let the knee kind of rest there. And this is great for the outer edge of our thigh down into our hip. And you may feel it in the crease of the hip as well. A little bit in the inner thigh. Just take a moment to notice where you feel this stretch. We're going to take 2 breaths here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. Let's inhale together. Open the mouth and exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then removing the blanket, releasing the top leg, and then releasing the bottom. We're going to come back over to our hands and knees position. And you can grab your blanket once more. And just having it right under your knee or knees. Coming back to our table. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. time we're walking our hands over to the right side of the mat, stepping that left foot forward. You may walk your hands forward a little and start to sink the hips forward. So depending on how you feel, that determines how far you want to walk that foot forward or walk the hands forward. Take a deep breath in and out. Start to lift the chest as you bring the hands to your left knee. And we're going to come back to our back bends here. So sinking the hips forward, reaching the arms up and back. Feeling that stretch all in the right quad, all the way up through the hip. Inhale as you stand back up. And you might walk the foot back a little bit so that it's kind of straight. Bring the hands to your hips. We're going to tuck the right toes under this time and lift the right knee off of the mat, keeping a bend in that left knee. Right leg is straight and the ball of the right foot is still on the mat. Coming to our high lunge. Take a deep breath here. And then we're gonna bring that right foot forward a little bit as we straighten the left leg. Coming back to our little balance here. Find some stability in the left leg. Keep it straight. And as you do, you'll lift the right knee. And again, if you feel or if you see that your balance is a little off today, just embrace it and keep trying. Know that it's okay. Breathe here. And then we're stepping it back behind your blanket. Ball of the right foot is down. Left knee is bent. Take a deep breath in and out. And then we're going to slowly and mindfully lower the right knee down to the mat. Top of the right foot is down. Maybe you walk the left foot forward again. Inhale to start. Exhale as we sink forward, reaching the arms up and back. Low lunge with our back bend. Inhale, standing up on the knee. And we're gonna bring that left knee down to meet the right. Bring the arms down by your side. We're coming back to our back bend. Back to our camel pose. This time bringing the opposite hand on the bottom and the other hand on top. Keeping the bottom half of our body stable here. We're going to inhale as we lift the chest and lift up from the hips. Exhale. Reach the shoulders back as we gaze up at the ceiling. Breathe here. Inhale as we stand. Exhale, release the hands. We're moving the blanket off to the side now. And coming back down to sit. This time we're going back to our double pigeon. So we're starting with my right leg, your left. Same thing here. Bringing the knee out straight from the hip. And then the heel is straight out from the knee. So kind of forming that right angle with your leg. And then stacking the opposite leg right on top of that. And again, here you can bring the blanket right underneath that right knee. Sit tall. And again, just notice where you feel this in your body here. This is a great stretch for the hips. So you may feel the outer hips or the outer thighs down into the hip, maybe in the crease of the hip, or maybe in the inner thigh, depending on which leg is on top. We'll take 2 deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. Let's inhale together. Open the mouth and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. And then release the blanket. Release the legs, and we're coming back to our bound ankle pose, right where we started. So sitting tall with the feet together and the knees out to the side. Hands can be on your mat or on your ankles. Sit tall in the spine, roll your shoulders up and back. Keep the chest open. We'll end here with 3 deep breaths. So let's inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Thanks for joining me today for Yoga for Hips, and I hope that you were able to find a little bit of stability as well as stretching and strengthening the hips as well. So let me know how you like this practice down in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video.